How you guys doing? Welcome to the When Calls the Hallmarkies heart-to-heart session of the Hallmarkies podcast. We're so excited to have you here. And welcome to Christmas in July. We are so excited to be bringing you this special episode. And here we are tasked with a very, very difficult job. Thank heavens, I don't have to do it alone. I'm here. I am Cammie, the Hooked Hardy, and I am joined by my two wonderful co-hosts, Kaycee, the Happy Hardy.
Hello, friends. Welcome. And I am in the lake at Hope Valley. For those of you who can't see me, if you're listening to the audio.
Sink down. Do it. Sink down into the lake. Yeah, sink. Go down. Go
down into the lake.
That's not working.
Well, hi.
And we have Caroline, the hopeful Hardy.
Hey, y'all. Woo-hoo.
All right. So we are here to rank the holiday specials. Dun, dun, dun. This was no easy task. We're going to start with number 5 and go up from there. So let's start with the disclaimer. We love them all.
Oh, yes. Like, this was
Definitely
so hard, y'all.
Yes.
So hard.
This was a very, very difficult thing to do because we love them all. But something has to go last, right? Something's got to be last. So what I did, this was my personal process, is to pick the number 1. Which one of these would I put on repeat? Which one would I put on repeat? And then if that one wasn't available, which one would I pick next to enjoy? You know, so that's how I picked it, was which one would I enjoy watching the most? So what about you guys? How did you pick?
I like you said, and like which one gave me just which one makes me happy, or I had no rhyme or reason. I knew my number 1. That was easy. Number 1, but 2 through the rest, I was like, oh, what's going on? Sorry, y'all.
I had number 1 and I had number 5. And then 2, I was like 2, 3, 4. I'm like, okay, I have 2. Now 3 and 4 are probably still going to switch. We'll see what happens. All right, Kaycee, what was your process? Did you have one?
Yeah, no, I did. I had which one am I going to watch first? Right. I know my number 2. It's always my go-to. It's very consistently such a good one for me. There's a reason why it's not number 1. But now I'm thinking my number 1 and my number 3 should switch, because I was writing my list of why I loved each movie. And then I was like, I have way more reasons for number 3 than I do for number 1, even though number 1's a really good one.
Okay. But there has to be a point where you just throw away the list and say, which one makes me feel the best, right?
Yeah, and you know what I think? I'm just going to go with my gut, because that was my gut writing.
Yes.
There you go. That's what you do.
Yep.
All right. Drum roll, please. Okay. Kaycee, give me your number 5.
Okay. My number 5 is When Calls the Heart Christmas. Now, here's the thing, y'all. Elizabeth's dress was beautiful. The Mountie ball in the saloon with the candles, beautiful. I loved it.
I hear a butt coming.
However,
that's the same
first of all, you guys, this is the one where I was so dang sure that Jack was going to propose.
Yes.
When they were decorating the Christmas tree, he drops that stupid ornament. Sorry if you have children listening who are not allowed to hear the S word, but stupid ornament. And everyone's thinking he's going to propose, and he doesn't. And it was a lost opportunity in my mind. And I was very, very, But that's my number 5.
Okay, Caroline, give us your number 5.
I love this movie because Jack comes back, but the wishing tree. Like the rest of the story didn't really get it for me, but when he came back, I was like, yes. But the other stuff really didn't work for me. That's why it's last.
Okay. My number 5 is Greatest Christmas Blessing. That was my number 5. I know that I'm probably going to get chased with a pitchfork because of this choice, because Baby Jack is born and we love Baby Jack. But, it was one of those ones that it felt like they were still trying to find their vibe after Jack left. And, I was still kind of in the I miss Jack phase. So, and I really loved the Hope Valley people. I just wanted to see more story focused on, the When Hope Calls, the Brookfield people. I loved the story surrounding them and how it introduced them, but I wanted to see more story focused on the Hope Valley people. I thought there was a little too much emphasis on the kids from Brookfield. And this doesn't bother me, but can I just say, for the record, their voices were a little too good for a ragtag bunch of orphans. I'm a singer. I know these things. It's just like, okay, that was obviously a dub job. So, so that one is my number 5. All right. So, Kaycee, you're number 4.
Okay, my number 4 is The Wishing Tree. Mm-hmm. I love the reunion. I love the idea of a wishing tree. I think it's really sweet, and how, people are taking wishes from the tree. But other than Jack's return, it's really not as memorable to me. Like, I actually have to go back and watch it and remember why. And it might just be because we all know that Jack passes away, and that's the last Christmas we see him. And so it kind of just does a weird thing to you. And then also, too, in my rewatch of it today, and I was just skimming through it really quick just to remember what the storyline was about, it just felt that, it could be a character choice, but it just felt like Daniel Lissing was just not all there wholeheartedly. Like, his character just seemed very, he wasn't as lively, especially when I watched the other movies that he had been in, with When Calls the Heart and all the other episodes. He was always very happy-go-lucky with a smile on his face, a little snarky, a little fun. But this movie, he just seemed very disconnected, and that made me really sad.
I felt that too. Yeah.
I do think part of it, I don't know about all of it, but I do think part of that was a character choice, because he was suffering from the effects of the war. I agree with you, but I do think part of it, at least, was a character choice. But I do agree. Yeah. Caroline, am I going to assume? Oh no, that was your number 5. So what's your number 4? What's your number 4?
The When Calls the Heart Christmas, the fourth season. Yeah, I love the dress, like Kaycee said, and the dance was so sweet, but it wasn't as memorable as the others to me. It just didn't give me the feels. Like the other 3.
My number 4 is The Happy Homecoming. So Kaycee and I we're on the same page with number 4, because like you guys said, other than Jack's homecoming, it wasn't as memorable. I still enjoyed it, and and here's the other thing is, I wrote 4 fan fiction stories about Jack's return, and if they weren't this epic running to each other, then it was a very epic him showing up at her door, or him going through the town and not being able to find her. And so him showing up right behind her in the middle of broad daylight was a little disappointing to me. I'm like, oh, come on. So
the reunion in the middle of season 5 was better than the Christmas reunion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yes, absolutely. And that, when that episode aired, my best friend and I that had written the 4 stories together, she said, "That's what we wanted." I said, "Yes, that's what we wanted." But I will say, there is something about that screen chemistry. Holy moly.
Oh yeah.
What I've said on my blog is one of the reasons why I love When Calls the Heart so much is that the two leads can take it to a place where there is so much passion without getting dirty. And that is something that I think Aaron and Dan are so seamless at. They are so seamless at taking it to a place where there is a ton of passion, where you can cut it with a knife, it's so thick, but it never goes dirty. And that was the best part about that one. I also love how you get to see Carson come out of his shell, because he had been so sad. He had been so sad in the season before, and now you get to see him finally have a little bit of a lifted burden, and he's helping other people to have a lifted burden. So but yeah, that's my number 4. Okay, so number 3, Kaycee.
Okay, so my number 3, this is the one I was conflicted about because I wrote my list, then I went back and wrote the reasons why, and this one had a lot of reasons, but I'm just gonna listen. When we do it, we're just gonna do it, and when we have this next Christmas movie, my list's gonna change again, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So my number 3 is Home for Christmas. This last one. Really, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I don't know why it's number 3. I loved seeing everyone, especially after a weird season 6, like just with all the, Abigail just disappears, and all that good stuff. But I love seeing everybody come together. I love that Rosemary and Lee, we get to see them in like auntie uncle status with baby Jack. I love the Florence and Fiona gift exchange. I thought that was so sweet.
Oh my gosh.
I loved Bill melting over baby Jack with the gift, with the compass. Like, I just loved seeing him in that way. Of course, there's the lanterns, and that was just beautiful, and the festival, and that was super fun to see Lucas come out of his, proper everyday, self. And then Nathan's decision to stay, and Faith and Carson, that whole charade of like they're crossing each other like all throughout. So that is why I really loved Home for Christmas. That's why it's number 3, which really probably should be number 1, but whatever.
All right, we're gonna stick with it. Caroline, what's your number 3?
The New Year's Eve wish. Is that what it's called? New Year's Eve wish or New Year's wish?
A New Year's wish. A New Year's wish.
I love that movie. It's so sweet. I love seeing finally they're in a committed relationship, Elizabeth and Jack. I love Cody and Becky's storyline. That was real sweet. And I just loved everything about it. It just wasn't Christmas enough for me. It was New Year's. So that's why it's number 3. Because the other ones were like Christmas.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But it was, I just, and Jack chopping wood. There you go.
Angry chopping.
Yeah.
Jack chopping. Drop the axe.
I'm like Aaron. I like the wood chopping scenes.
I love
those work for me.
chopping. When I just really, really fast, I'm still not fully committed to Team Nathan, but I'm pretty much there. But when I saw the picture of him chopping wood, I immediately went out and said, okay, all bets are off. The man's chopping wood. Of course, that's not the deciding factor, but I thought it would be a good joke. Okay, so my number 3 is When Calls the Heart Christmas. It's not higher up for same reason, Kaycee. Why didn't he propose?
Right?
And that,
I know.
I mean, I was proposed to at Christmas time, and there is no more romantic time. And in hindsight, with Jack leaving and passing away, I really think it would have been a good time. It would have been a good time for him to propose. Also, because he nearly lost his life to pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
And when you almost die and you almost lose the chance to spend the rest of your life with the one you love, that changes things. And so
that's why I thought he was going to propose.
Yes!
Yeah, same.
I'm like,
Yes!
oh, I was so mad.
Yeah, so I really, really wanted him to propose in season 4, but I loved the coming together. The storyline made a lot of sense, because the train was halted. They couldn't get their Christmas supplies, so they all had to gather together as a community to make Christmas happen. And the other thing is, because of the floods, they had to get the houses built. The community effort was really, really there, but he didn't propose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna propose, like, if he wasn't gonna propose then, I was like, okay, I get the fake out, the proposal fake out, because
Right.
But the thing is, like, most other TV shows and movies, the proposal fake out leads to an actual proposal within that movie or within that episode.
Yeah.
And it didn't. Like, when they were dancing in the saloon with all the candles and all that stuff, and she's in that gorgeous, gorgeous dress, I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna happen. And then Christmas music, end credits, and I was left there like, you writers played me! You played me! But for real, though, we do wish he would have proposed.
So yeah, that's my number 3. Okay, Kaycee, number 2.
My number 2 is New Year's Wish.
Okay.
It's just, that's the one I always go to. It's just so fun. It's kind of campy. We have the Rosemary and Lee charade because, they're not married yet. But it's like so funny to see Rosemary like coerce everybody to just like follow her commands, like Hickam and
poor
Lee.
Hickam. Poor Hickam. Lee even
Mr.
says,
LaVoe.
leave that poor boy alone. Oh my gosh.
I just love the Lee and Rosemary chemistry. This one really brought it out because they had really been kind of the side characters in the last season. And just seeing the relationship blossom and, Lee puts
their chemistry had been kind of on a simmer, and this brought it up. It brought it forward, I should say.
Yeah, because season 2, Lee rolls in, and then we have like this like somewhat of a flirty banter, and then Rosemary gets jealous because she's not ready to commit. So Lee's like, okay, fine, you're not ready to commit. I'll go out with Molly. And then this is just following that. So, I mean, I just love that we, brought in a new couple who's fun and stable. And Lee also puts his foot down because
he's the first one to handle Rosemary.
Yeah, exactly. And in season 2, like, of course, they're still developing this relationship, but that Christmas, it's like Lee's like, you're going to tell him the truth because it's the right thing to do. And she's like, fine. And I love them. I love them.
He's the only one that can handle Rosemary.
Yeah.
What is it that Jack said? Anyone marrying Rosemary deserves more than an hour.
I also liked it because it was different, because it was a New Year's movie, and that's always fun. And then of course we have the Jack and Elizabeth, our official. So I like that we didn't have to drag out this whole like thing with what's his face proposing.
Charles.
Thank you. But I'm really glad they didn't drag that whole thing on for another.
Amen.
Exactly. I couldn't have handled it. Yeah.
So.
All right, Caroline, give it to me. What's your number 2?
I picked for number 2, season 7, Come Home for Christmas, Home for Christmas Day, Home for Christmas.
There you go.
I love that because of the lanterns, and I love seeing Elizabeth with another students besides like Opal and like stuff like that. She was more with Allie, and I like Allie's storyline about she wanting to stay, and then Nathan decides to stay. I love that. And I love celebrating little Jack's birthday, and it's just so sweet seeing how much Rosemary and Lee loved him, like he's their own child. And that daggone compass, I was like, I lost it. And so I love seeing Bill in that role. Like, I'll be honest, Bill's not my favorite character, nothing on Jack Wagner. I love Jack Wagner's Bill. I can't I don't know, but seeing him with little Jack, just it melts my heart. He could be a mean judge, and then he can be like softy Uncle Bill.
Well, Caroline and I are in sync on this one because Home for Christmas is my number 2. I felt like this was the movie where they got their vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like we said, season 6 was strange and a little choppy by no fault of anybody's, and the editing job that they did was pretty
phenomenal.
Seamless.
It was pretty seamless.
Yeah, it was pretty seamless for what they had to do. But I also felt, this is something that I've felt for the last several Christmas movies. The Christmas movies have a different mood from the rest of the season. It's like they're trying to get into things or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but I felt like Home for Christmas there was no getting into things transition needed. Everybody was there. Everybody was present. It didn't have any bumpy parts as far as I was concerned. It felt very really like we've said, and I did love the fair. I really did love the fair. And it was just something new. It was something new to bring to the town. And I loved that we still kept the triangle alive without ruining the Christmas mood. That was something I was very appreciative of.
Yeah.
And I really, really do like this one because the vibe is steady. The vibe is very present.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that.
Isn't this the only Christmas movie that they filmed last or towards the end?
I don't think it was. I don't think
filmed it in the middle.
Or like in the middle, but like, because usually don't they film the Christmas one first and then they film the rest of the season?
In season 6, they filmed it last.
Yeah.
Because
with
the baby and whatnot. Yeah. And then they filmed season 7 in the middle because that's when Andrea went on maternity leave.
Yes.
For like when she had her baby, so they did it in the middle this time.
Yeah.
So
they filmed it in October or something like that.
In October.
Yeah, but that's at the end, isn't it?
Because the season 7 filming ended in December.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, you're right. So yeah. There was no needing to get into things or we're burned out.
Yeah.
It was
and
right
you could tell,
in the middle.
And you could tell it wasn't hot, it
that
wasn't
too.
summer. Because Kevin is a great cold actor, as Aaron said before.
As we know.
Yeah.
I was watching season 5 again, and it's just so much fun to see how good Kevin is at acting.
It makes me giggle.
Dude, you are the king of cold right there.
King of cold.
We need to have him. We need to have him at some point. If we ever get so lucky as to have him, then we need to say, okay, we need to know about the process. How do you do it? All right, everybody ready?
Woo!
Number 1. Kaycee, what is your number 1?
My number 1 is the one I haven't mentioned yet. Greatest Christmas Blessing.
Greatest Christmas Blessing.
This one, so I think it was because I was so sad from the end of season 5. And I was really not looking, I honestly was not looking forward to When Calls the Heart anymore. Like, I was just so depressed. Like, how could you do this to me? But then The Greatest Christmas Blessing just revived something back in me. And I was like, you know what? I can dig this, especially having like meeting Grace and Lillian and seeing, where are they going to it was a good teaser for When Hope Calls, I thought.
Yeah.
I was a very nervous that it was going to be just like this really pushy, like, okay, we killed off Jack and here, we're going to introduce you new characters so you can, you know, here you go. But it didn't feel that way to me. I really like that as their pilot intro into the universe.
Yeah. The hope was very present.
Yes.
The hopeful attitude was very present.
It was very present. And I loved the 3 girls at Rosemary's house when they put on the dresses. I thought that was so precious and so adorable.
It was precious. It just bothered me that they didn't ask her. Just like,
well, they're kids.
They're kids.
I wouldn't have asked.
I know, but I was like, wow.
Yeah. But Rosemary handled it really well. I mean, old Rosemary would have been like, oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. Old Rosemary would have had a conniption.
She would have had a cow. I also love Gowan's melting heart in this one with Millie, and I thought that was so sweet. And then, of course, Baby Jack. I really enjoyed seeing. I'm looking back now. I'm glad we didn't go through this whole like 9-month pregnancy with Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it was just like, oh, you're pregnant. Oh, you're due like any moment now, and it's Christmas. Even though the timeline was off, but we'll get into that a little later.
Yeah. Not talking about timelines. We're talking about enjoyment.
We'll just stretch the imagination.
Exactly.
But I do love that Abigail and Rosemary really came alongside Elizabeth during that time, and they really had a sisterhood in bringing Baby Jack into the world and supporting Elizabeth through this time when she is still a freshly, newly widowed woman. So those are the reasons why I liked it. It's just so sweet. And I liked it a whole lot more than I thought I would originally. And I don't know. It's sweet. That's what I can do.
Something else that I forgot to mention is that I really liked how Jack was still very present. I mean, the very first shot of the entire thing is the pictures of him. The panning camera of the pictures of him. Yeah. And when they added in that beautiful Easter egg of "Take a walk with me" with the father and daughter. That was beautiful. Yeah, that was beautiful. Okay, go ahead, Caroline. What's your number one?
If you are keeping track, you will know mine is also The Greatest Christmas Blessing. I love how it was like his Baby Jack's birthday. Like that's when he was born, because it helped ease me into it. Like Kaycee said, like I knew I was ready for season 6, but I'm like, is it going to be about like Jack mentioned enough? And I'm glad, like, the way you said it, he, like, his pictures, she misses him. She doesn't know how she can do it without him. Like, I love that, because that's how Elizabeth would be. Like, she wouldn't be, like, gung-ho ready to move on as soon as her child is born, you know?
Right.
And I'm also glad we didn't meet Nathan and Lucas in the Christmas movie. Yeah. It was easier to watch with the main characters. Yeah. You know, it wasn't, like, a new love interest already. And Millie melted my heart. My dog's name is Millie, and so that made me smile. And seeing Gowan like that, like, it was just so sweet. And like it just warmed my heart seeing Baby Jack born. So, and Aaron rocked the Elizabeth bump. So it was
yes. All right, my number one, if you've been keeping track, the one I haven't mentioned is season 3, A New Year's Wish. This is the one that I could watch anytime. I just love it. I love it. I love it for several reasons. Number one, they didn't try to make it a standalone movie. I don't mind the standalone movies, but I really like that it picked up right where it left off. And I really did like that. And, you know, of course, we got Jack chopping wood. And I saw the bloopers for season 3.
Yes.
And there's one where he's chopping and then Dad goes, ow. It's nice to know that he's not superhuman. He's a human just like the rest of us. But I love that the entire time they're talking, they're communicating, because he's not okay with it. He's not okay with it at the beginning, and he's still not completely okay with it by the middle of the beginning, I guess you could, or the middle of it. But by the end, everything has been talked out. Everything has been handled. Everything has been fixed for that time. And you see that beautiful moment with them kissing with the fireworks. Can there be a more perfect moment? Kissing under fireworks. You know,
I love that. I 100% love that.
Love that. I love Rosemary. Really, I love Rosemary and Lee, and I really feel like this was one of Rosemary's turning points.
Yes.
Because she stopped being the drama queen. She still was flamboyant after this, but she settled down. You know, she because of Lee. And she got to a point where she could say yes to his proposal. And when he finally proposed to her. And so it was her first big turning point, I think.
Yes.
And so yeah, I just love this movie. And the biggest reason why it's in front of Home for Christmas is there's more romance. Because I mean, when you think about it, there really isn't very much romance in Home for Christmas, because
you're right.
Carson and Faith spend the entire time apart, except for the very, very end. Jesse and Clara are already engaged, so they're a little bit more settled in their feelings. And Elizabeth's not in love with either one fully yet, so there really isn't any romance in Home for Christmas.
That's true.
You're right.
Huh. Yeah.
I never thought about it like that. Like,
I never thought about
it wasn't.
I know it took me a little bit, and it took a friend pointing it out to me. But I love the romance, and I love that it's back, especially because at the very end of season 2, we left him so angry. And I'm gonna talk like an actor for a second again, but at the very, very beginning of New Year's Wish, when she goes up and tries to convince him, quote unquote, and she takes him by the head and she kisses him, and you can see the muscles in his neck just tense, and he's like, he wants to respond, but he's holding himself back. I'm just like, you know what I mean? Those are the moments that those are the gripping moments that as an actor, you're just like, oh, he did so good with that. You know?
I was like, dang it.
There we go again.
Dang it, Jack.
But that, yeah, and also like Kaycee, we get a lot of Christmas movies, a lot. And I just love that it was something different. We were celebrating New Year's, and it was something different for a change.
And it started the tradition of Christmas movies in Hope Valley. So
yes, it did. Yeah. It started it. So that's my number one. And I probably forgot a reason, but you know, you get the picture. All right, ladies. Well, I didn't think we would be able to do it, but we did it.
We did it. Yay.
And now I have to tell you, I am so curious to see what our rankings are going to be like after we watch this upcoming Christmas movie. I mean, is it going to change everything, or
especially if the triangle is like, we can tell she's closer to making a decision, I think that will weigh heavily on the ranking, because honestly, I don't know if I can take it like much longer. Like, I
need the triangle.
Yeah, because I love both guys. Both actors are great. I'm like, I hate it for them that they're getting the flack. So I just need it fixed because I want everyone happy.
Yeah. I kind of wonder if they're going to pull a quote unquote New Year's wish resolution with, this end of season 2 was Charles proposing to Elizabeth, and then you had that whole thing with Jack, and then all of a sudden it's like resolved right then and there in the New Year's movie. So I kind of wonder if they're going to like,
that's a good point,
make it obvious, like,
is it going to be a decision,
right? Like her booming with Nathan was the decision, and this is exactly why, or not, but I kind of wonder if they're gonna just like lay it out there in the open, just like they did with New Year's Wish.
But then
I
we
hope
can't
so.
have a dream sequence with Jack in the dream giving his blessing or giving, or well, I guess
but she could,
we could still do that before the wedding.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So even if she makes a quote unquote decision, let's say it's with Nathan because of the boom and crash,
right?
She could have these like conflicting feelings even if they're in a relationship and a courtship.
That's true.
Very true. Very
true. She's got a son and all these things, and then maybe she could have a dream mid-season 8.
There we go.
Your idea will come to fruition.
Yay!
Yes.
Do you guys have any other wishes for the next Christmas holiday movie?
Oh, the next Christmas movie.
I would love.
Go ahead, Caroline. Go ahead.
I would love to see more like Jesse and Clara like in marriage life. Like maybe she finds out she's pregnant or something like that. And I want Rosemary and Lee to have a child so bad. So maybe they can go to Brookfield or something and adopt and bring it back for Christmas. Like I just want them to be parents so bad because them with Jack is just so sweet. And so they need to be parents. So
I love the special guest stars that they bring in. You know, with Sam the Peddler being kind of a Santa / elf / angel, that was one of the reasons I really liked When Calls the Heart Christmas, was because of him. So if they get a really good special guest star that kind of brings it all together, I would really like to see that happen.
Someone for Rosemary's mom.
Oh yes.
Like Jean Smart, or someone.
Jean Smart.
You know that Jean Smart was in the pilot, right? She was in the pilot movie as the another mother.
Oh,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I have to watch it.
Watch that one. So
that would be a really good choice because she was in the pilot movie. So that's a good. It would have to be a really strong special guest star, somebody who could inspire the community.
Maybe Nate Lucas's mom could
Whoa,
Helen.
That would be a force of nature. Elizabeth meeting a potential future in-law. Yeah.
Or just seeing one of the guys around their mother, that's how you know a guy is
that is
mom.
Very true. That is true. Very true because Nathan was estranged from his dad, and so he's still around family, but it was more of an Elizabeth trying to help Nathan get over that and make amends with his dad and then prove his innocence. So but the fact that both men are on good terms with their mothers, that would be something to see, is seeing both men interact, not just hear about it, but seeing both men interact with their mothers. That would be something to see.
That would be fun.
Yes, and how they act around Elizabeth in front of their mom. I just love that. Because with Jack and Charlotte,
yes.
It made me laugh so much because he was so flustered, and
Jack was stuck between a rock and a hard place with his.
He just kept digging it deep.
Yeah, so funny.
Yeah. So I would, if I had to say, I would love to see her in a settled relationship for Christmas time, because it's been a long time since we've seen her in a settled relationship for Christmas. I don't know if I'm emotionally ready for her to make a choice. I'm ready for the drama to end, but it's kind of like the wondering. I want it to come. Oh gosh, it's here. So it's, I don't know, I'm kind of conflicted with that.
Yeah.
But I want to see little Jack truly enjoy Christmas, because, as a 1-year-old, you don't really get it, but he's going to be 2 now. And that's where he can start kind of
playing,
getting into things.
Yeah, he can start ripping open paper and being surprised and happy, and so that would probably be one thing I would love to see, is just an older little Jack finally being able to get into things.
Yeah, I agree. I too wish we can see more of little Jack, because he's just adorable. Yeah. And who doesn't love a good toddler? I mean, come on.
I know.
They're just so
cuddly.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's going to happen for this Christmas, but this is my Christmas pitch for a Christmas.
Oh, she's got a pitch, not a wish, but a pitch.
I've got a pitch. I've got a pitch for you, When Calls the Heart writers.
All right.
So if you're not going to give us a baby for Christmas for Rosemary and Lee, here's my hopes and dreams. In season 8, have them pursue adoption. They adopt. And then season 8, 9, that Christmas movie bridge, have Rosemary be unexpectedly pregnant, and it's all cahoots into like her trying to tell Lee, but it's just like she keeps missing that opportunity, kind of like the episode in Full House when Aunt Becky's trying to tell Uncle Jesse that she's pregnant.
Yes, he's totally missing it.
He totally misses it. That should be Lee, and it could be called When Calls the Heart, a gift for Christmas, because Lee opens a gift that indicates that she's pregnant, and then
like
all the tears,
like a rattle or something.
Yeah, like
he could
boobies.
be.
Oh, that's that's precious.
What is this? Isn't our child who we adopted just recently, who's 6 years old,
7 years old,
too old for this? And she could be like, Leland Coulter. And then she just cries because she's emotional because she's pregnant. And then he's just like, sweetheart. Oh, and then he cries because he's so happy and overjoyed. And then we all cry. And then it's just happily ever after.
That's a really good idea. Please make it happen.
And I would also like to see another pitch, since we're doing this. I want to see Lucas chop wood in season 8. because
or at least try.
Because that's like, we could compare Nathan to Lucas to see who's better, and then bam, that's who Elizabeth picks. So
yes.
And I want to see Elizabeth watch Nathan chop wood, so she wasn't.
Yeah, because she never saw it. She never saw it. My husband, when I was saying, because that little point system I had going, I gave Nathan points for chopping wood, and he said, it didn't happen with Elizabeth there. You can't count it. I said, shush, you don't know what you're talking about. So yes, I would love to have her see both of them chop wood. Okay, so
it can have a snowstorm, and they get like a lot of snow, so both Lucas and Nathan have to chop wood for everyone's fires,
and they have to work together.
Yes, and then
to deliver.
Yes, and then Elizabeth watches, because she is telling them where to give each person's wood, and so she sees both of them.
That's good. Okay. So since we're pitching, I want to see, I don't know exactly what I would want her reaction to be, but I would like to see one of them at least try to kiss her.
Yes! We can call it a kiss for Christmas!
A kiss for Christmas.
I was going to say a Christmas kiss. I was going to say a
mistletoe.
Christmas kiss.
Like they try to use mistletoe, because that wasn't used in season 7 like I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, they said it and then they forgot about it. But I would, if one of them does kiss her, I don't necessarily know, because I don't know which one, because it would depend on who kissed her, what her reaction would be. But I would like one of them. My pitch is have one of them at least try to kiss her, if not kiss her, and then kind of gauge her reaction.
I would love that.
So I don't know if I'm mentally ready to see another man kiss Elizabeth. Be 100% honest, like, just because I'm still reeling over the Jack and Elizabeth kisses, like, holy moly, bring on the fans because it is hot. However, I do want to see some sort of romantic gesture. We are big Signed, Sealed, Delivered fans here, and when Oliver kisses Shane's hand in the chapel in Lost Without You,
oh my gosh,
I mean, melting hearts over here with tears. I would like to see one of them do that.
Kiss her hand at the very least.
A forehead kiss.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I could do I don't know if I could do a forehead kiss.
I want a forehead kiss.
Oh. Sometimes I would prefer that the forehead kiss happen when she's in the stable established relationship, because sometimes
that's true.
Sometimes a forehead kiss can be even hotter than a lip kiss.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but a kiss on the hand, that is something I would be okay with both of them at least trying. I don't know, maybe she kind of gently backs away from one of them, but a kiss on the hand, because you can do it with a bunch of different moods. It can be it can be playful, it can be respectful, it can be very hot. There are a bunch of different ways that you can kiss somebody's hand. So that would be something I would be okay seeing both of them do.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Well, I think we better all end now before we start needing thermometers. Parties. Merry Christmas, darling. In July, it's true. I'm going to stop there. We hope all of you are staying safe. We hope all of you are staying happy and hopeful and hooked on this series. We love all of you, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.